Hello everyone, it's Ian, Keith, Dad, Grandad. I've had my injection. I'm not noticing any difference. Oh, no, it's not like that yet. Give it a little while, it might be. Yeah, anyway. Started my hormone treatment yesterday, first stage. My second stage comes with my chemotherapy, which starts on Tuesday. Today is Thursday, so it's like 5 days away. Went okay. All sorts of. I'm trying to get ready for the chemo, and I'm conscious that my white blood cells will be down to 0. So I've been getting me doctors, getting me lungs checked because I've got a little bit of a cough, and I've obviously had the terp, and obviously not obviously, but it's exposed because it's all raw flesh. So, and it's urine and stuff, so there's high risk of urinal infection, urinal tract infection, UTI as they call it. So I went to the doctors, and she's given me antibiotics because they suspect that I've got one because I'm getting a little bit of soreness. But I'm peeing, brilliant. Last night was the first night for quite a while I got a decent sleep, because obviously I'm now on the hormone, so you feel like you're getting somewhere at last, and you know that it's destroying the cancer cells. Yeah, I don't want to try not to make this too long. So everything's ticking along. Not feeling any major effects yet, but I'm sure I will. But I thought I wanted to give you a little bit of what knowledge I've learned. When I first started getting this, you tend to think down things, and then you suddenly hear things, yeah, bloody hell, and I didn't realise that. And when I first heard, cancer, you think bad cells, growing rapidly or whatever, causing the cancer growth, the tumours. And you take this attitude that, it's all one type. It's a prostate cancer. It's all one type of cell. But the deeper you get into it, and the dawn broke on me that it's not. It's not, because what's happening is that when you get the first prostate cell that divides wrongly and creates a cancer, and it divides into 2, and then 2 into 4, and then 4 into 8, and 8 into 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, and that's how rapidly it grows. Obviously, if it only divides, say, every month, it grows very slow, and it's a very weak cancer cell. But if it's dividing every hour or 10 seconds or whatever, it's much more rapid. And this is where the Gleason scale comes in, because what they do when they take the biopsies, they look at the cancer cells in that biopsy, and I was thinking last night, how can I describe this? And the best way I can describe it, simple enough. If you look at a real good normal cell, it's just like a tadpole, frog spawn, where you've got like a clear, nice liquid, and then you've got a black cell or whatever in the middle. So it looks like, if you imagine a big one. But then I thought, well, if you think of a McDonald's, where they do the fried egg in a like a round container, and it forms this exact round with a yellow yolk in the middle. Well, that's what a really good cell looks like. Now, if you then start to move that sort of shape, and that McDonald's, is it McMuffin or something they call them? Anyway, if you move that into like a normal fried egg, if you got to a normal fried egg in your frying pan, where it's all ununiform and, and the yolk's swelled out a bit and it's all going a bit sort of odd shape, that you would class as a Gleason 4, whereas a McMuffin you would class as a Gleason 1. Or even, Gleason 1, a normal cell. So move from that round shape and distort it and make it go a little bit funny, and you get it to a Gleason 2 and then get a bit worse, Gleason 3. Gleason 4 is that like a fried egg. It's getting all... But then run over that fried egg with your car or whatever on the pavement, and imagine the splat, what it'd be like. A bit like what they call it, a pavement pizza on a Saturday night when somebody's puked up. You can imagine that, that you've got this egg and it's all got squished and it's all gone horribly shaped and things and all gnarly and that's a Gleason 5. Because what's happening is that when you start with the first cell that starts to mutate wrong, as it continues to mutate, and what it does is it changes and it develops, and it develops its shape. So, and it changes its mutation. So it does start to mutate quicker or grow quicker. So it becomes more aggressive, as they say, and starts to get more and gets then outside your prostate and then starts moving around your body, which is what I've got. So when it gets to that Gleason 4 or 5, it's getting more dangerous and it's getting more rapid in its development. Right, so coming back to what I've just gone through, I've had what they call first generation hormone therapy. Now what first generation does is it attacks the majority of the type of prostate cancer cell, which is adenocarcinoma in my case, which is the normal one. 98% of men have the adenocarcinoma, and that carcinoma produces the antigen, which is the marker on the cell which everything works around, your PSA and everything else. So the drug that they give me, which is Zoladex, and there was also Decapeptyl was an option, but I've had the implant in my tummy. That attacks the majority of the cancer cells. 90, I don't know, say 95%. And what it does, it stops the testosterone production in my body. And the fact that there's no testosterone, all those cancer cells start to die. They stop dividing, and they can't divide because they've got nothing to feed off. The testosterone feeds them. So what happens is that they wither and die. They only die, mind, when they want to divide. They need that testosterone to divide from 1 into 2. So while ever they are not dividing, they don't die. So as soon as they start to split, they can't do it because they ain't got testosterone, and they die, wither away and die. So in most cases, if they catch it early enough, and all the cancer cells are the original adenocarcinoma, it will wipe out the cancer in my body and I'll go into full remission. But they're not saying that to me. They're saying that basically they think that mine's mutated much further on. And this is where second generation hormone therapy comes in. Because what the cancers do, and this is that becomes the dangerous ones, more dangerous, is that they realise, well, not realise, that's the wrong word, but they develop and start producing internally their own testosterone, which allows them to divide without the body's testosterone being there. Generation 1 therapy won't kill them because they're doing their own thing. They're producing their own testosterone. So second generation, the idea is that 95% is the first gen, gets rid of those. Second generation will get rid of, hopefully 5%, the remainder, but they might only do 99% of that 5%, because those cancer cells may have mutated again away from producing their own testosterone. What they may also do is that they start to survive without the PSA marker, the antigen on the surface. So you can't see that they're there. All the tests that you use for prostate cancer uses that antigen. PSA in your bloods, PSMA PET scans, and then some of the other radioactive injectable liquids want to attach to antigen, and if it's not there, they can't attack it. Because what starts to happen is that some of those cancer cells that are mutating are actually starting to produce the normal sort of cancers that you would get in your brain or your lung or whatever, are more dangerous. Because the reason that prostate cancer is so treatable is because of this antigen thing. So effectively, if they don't catch it early enough, you're in much dire straits, because there's potentially these other much more aggressive cancer cells. And it's things like, I can't remember some of the names of them, but lymphoma cancers, small cell carcinomas. There's loads of them, different types of cancers, all of which, will attack your pancreas, lungs, brain, whatever. But hopefully, and who knows, I'll know in 6 months' time exactly where we're getting to. Now, I hope that's not been too boring. So, I try not to be boring. Yeah, the thing I was going to say, so that's the, the technical bit, the hard bit, but hopefully you understand. So where I'm at, I'm having first gen hormone. Second gen, I actually give them those tablets when I start the chemo on Tuesday. Because the idea of first gen kills off the 95% of adenocarcinoma cells. Second generation attacks the cells that are starting to produce their own testosterone, stops them. Chemotherapy comes along, and that doesn't rely on antigen, prostate antigen. It basically, chemotherapy is for any cancer, the more nasty ones. So they're doing a broad sweep across the board to get hopefully all the prostate and any more that are starting to mutate. So, they're doing a brilliant job. And then what the idea is that, and this is me, I've got to talk this over with my consultant, is that in 6 months' time, let's assume that they haven't quite got all the cancer cells. What may start to happen is my PSA might start to go up very slightly. At that point, you know that they've not got them all. So what they will do then, and this is I've got to talk to my consultant, is they'll do another PSMA PET scan, which is injecting me with the radioactive and doing me a CAT scan. Now what they will see then is they'll see any areas that they've not managed to kill in the next 6 months. And then what they'll do, they'll be able to irradiate with radiotherapy any new tumours. What they'll also be able to do is another course of chemotherapy, another 6 months. Because chemotherapy, you can just keep doing it. Radiotherapy, you can only do like 4 or 5 shots, and then if it's all in one area, you start to destroy the good tissue. So there's a long way to go yet. And the other thing is that they've only just released now a 3rd generation hormone therapy. And the 3rd generation, hopefully, is to attack. If I was in a situation where I was developing now new tumours in 6 months' time, the 3rd generation will step in and hopefully stop some of those. But these hormone therapies will last normally 1 to 3 years. So if you did them sequentially, stage 1, 1 to 3 years. So let's say you get 3 years. Stage 2, 1 to 3 years if you then fail on stage 1 after 1 to 3 years. Because it's then called castration-resistant cancer. Because it's the fact you've lost all your testosterone, it becomes resistant to that. And that's where your second stage comes in. And then if that doesn't work, then they can move 3rd stage. So potentially you can sort of buy time. By them doing 1st or 2nd together, they're hoping to wipe it out completely. But I might get 1 to 3 years. And then if it all starts coming back, then there's, what do they do from there? 3rd stage. And I might get another 1 to 3 years on that. So I might get to 6 years. I might only get to 4, 3, I don't know. All that's in the future. Yeah. yeah, so I'm rambling on a bit. Hopefully that makes sense. And the other thing, I keep going on. I'm obsessive about this, It's amazing, really, technology. Because the other thing is that in 3-4 years' time, there will be new treatments. Sure of that. In the last 3 to 4 years, there's been all sorts of new ones coming out. And I'll benefit from them, hopefully. Because I'm in the situation where I could more than likely die from it. So it's the sort of people like me that they're working on to try and produce a treatment that prolongs your life. And that's very active. Believe it or not, I looked on Cancer Research Institute, and Cancer Research Institute is the only place that you can look up in the UK for trials. And I looked, and believe it or not, there's over, I think it was 700 trials currently are in progress throughout the UK. Not just on prostate, on loads of all other cancers. When you search on prostate cancers, I think it was 53 or 56 trials in the UK. So that's how much there's going into it. Yeah. The other thing I was going to say was that I remember years ago I saw something and it said, what is the most valuable asset that you have in a business? And the answer to it is your workers, the people that work in that business. And as a manager, it's valuable to learn that or to know that, because you've got to, you've got to respect that out of your workers, what they do for you. And so obviously I'm getting pretty heavy into NHS and meeting all the different nurses and doctors and things. And I must say, I've got I can't praise them enough, really. They're so kind and nice. And I saw Martha, and if you're watching this, and Jane at the local GP. Thank you, Jane. It bloody stung when you put that implant in. Not terribly, but it was more painful than a normal injection. And she warned me, and she was very nice and kind. And hopefully you watch this, Jane, because I did give you my life with my prostate tip. Come and have a look, hopefully you're watching this one. And then I went to the other clinic in Penzance, and I met Martha. Lovely lass, beautiful eyes, and, young, attractive, and in a week or two, I'll have lost all my testosterone, and she'll just look like an old hag to me. Sorry, Martha, if you're watching this, no insult, but she had stunning eyes. And when I said to her, and she was very good, excellent nurse, and when I said to her, I've got advanced metastatic prostate cancer, and I've got 4 tumours on my spine or whatever, she gave her eyes, puppy dogs, and I said, don't look at me like that. I says, I've had a good life. I says, and this is what I always said to you, it's the rich tapestry of life, and it's something to be, what I'm going through is something to it's part of life, and it's something to enjoy if you can. Don't fret about the end. Sort of work your way through it, get it in your brain, understand what's going off, because your responsibility, and I keep saying this to you, your health is your own responsibility, nobody else's. And I said to her, don't give me them bloody puppy dog eyes. I says, don't look like that at me. I says, I'm still here. I said, I'm not gone yet. I'm not going. And she sort of then brightened up and smiled like, and I think a lot of nurses think, bloody hell, this is a bit different attitude towards Dean. So, I don't know. Anyway, but, lovely lass. And it's okay. Couldn't do enough for me, sent off urines for sort of, analysis for infection, and gave me antibiotics and listened to my chest, and, went and saw the doctor about when I should restart me blood thinners or my anticoagulant tablets, which I've started this morning, by the way, because I'm not bleeding as much now, hardly at all. Anyway, I'm up to 20 minutes. Still, enjoying things. I keep scratching and itching. I must be the tablets I'm on. I've got, Yeah, I'm not looking forward to steroids. Oh dear. Oh, that was the other thing. When the day before I start my chemo, which is Monday, I've got to take 8 steroid tablets on the day before, 8 on the day of, and 8 on the day after. And then Jane proceeds to tell me at the GP clinic I did the chemo pre-assessment, and what she proceeds to tell me is that I've got to inject myself for 5 consecutive days with steroids after the chemo. Oh, not looking well. And I was speaking to one of the nurses because she was a diabetic, and she started giving me all the tips and tricks about injecting. But that'll be for next week. Yeah, step by step, little steps, baby steps. We'll get there. And thanks, Dave and Joy. Ex-GP, by the way, a good friend. He said that if I keep this attitude up, it will help me no end in surviving as long as possible. And that's, your experienced knowledge and advice, great value to me. And I intend laughing and smiling and enjoying it as much as possible. I keep pulling the nurse's legs, when I see them. I haven't, and, I saw a nurse at the Sunrise Clinic at Truro the other day, and she called my name out. So yeah. So I went up and I gave her a big smile. She said, "Oh, what a lovely smile." And I said, "Oh, great." I said, "What's your name?" She said, "It's Tammy." I said, "Oh," I said, "I remember your name, Tammy Wynette." I said, "Can you sing like her?" So she said, No. So you just got to have a bit of crack. Because these poor nurses are working with people who are dying, got cancer and haven't got my attitude towards life or whatever. I'm dying, can't you save me, whatever. Got big C. Yeah, anyway, enough's enough. Live life to the full. Enjoy it as much as you can. Every day is a godsend. And I'm not religious, but it is a godsend. Enjoy the little things, the flowers, the wildflowers, I stop and bend down and have a right good look at them, because they're amazing, some things. I'll get tearful now if I'm not careful. I'm thinking of Graham's bird picture. Yeah, anyway, it's a firecrest, that's what it was. He sent me it, by the way, lovely. If anybody wants it, let me know and I'll send it you. Okay, right, it's Ian, Keith, Dad, Grandad, signing off again. And I ain't got no balls. Yeah, right. Speak again. Cheers. Bye for now.